All right, everybody, we are back yet again doing more tournament fun stuff. We got another 6-way race here. We are playing the Recycler preset. I'm going to go ahead and let these guys get started. This is the second round of preliminary races here, so we're going to be seeing some duplicate presets here. So if you haven't seen the previous Recycler race, Recycler works by giving you multiple chances to get important relics. So there are two leap stones, 2 gravity boots, 2 soul of bats, 2 form of mist, 2 soul of wolf, all of this stuff. So there's a lot of important stuff that you can get duplicates of. These players starting with a duplicator, mind you. And this is also the same tournament settings we've been doing for a while. So we're going to be seeing a second castle start here. First person to enter the second castle, I believe, was Durdrak, followed by Renan. These two seem to be taking advantage of that early start here, and potentially even using the duplicator immediately with the block-a knife, interestingly enough. Power of Sire also found by Crazy Four Blades in the bottom right-hand corner by killing the Karasamon enemy. That enemy does indeed have an item drop, so. And Durdrak going for the patented classic double jump, map buffer into a front slide, into a canceled down slash, gives you just enough momentum to make it past that little spike there. Who am I hearing? Somehow Cesar's audio just came through. There we go. How many participants in all so far? I believe we have about 10 total participants for this tournament, which is very interesting overall. And it looks like Durdrak is the only one going for this Aquadon kill so far. And we see a couple of different routes already playing out. We see Crazy Four Blades going all the way to the reverse All Rocks quarters warp. Ren deciding, I'm just going to get out of here.
You're smoking my penis right now.
And unfortunately for Durdrak, that boss kill does not pay off. Only finds Cube of Zoe. Granted, sub-weapons can be useful later on, but this is a preset that does not require killing all bosses. So in this regard, this time is essentially not super useful. So Crazy Four Blades gets the reverse warp here in the All Rocks' quarters, reverse All Rocks' quarters. Also found a Cross Shuriken, slightly better than the block-a knife, in my opinion, for damage. Durdrak still exiting. Alucard shield found for Ren. So we're going to see a lot of different routes possible for this preset. It's one of the things I do like about this preset. It's very open to a lot of different options. And, ooh, Cesar with an early death here. Duplicator does lower all of your stats, so you do have to be careful to not take too much damage from these enemies. And so far, I think as far as progression goes, here, I'm going to have Ren in the top left here. I guess I'll keep Ren and Durdrak up here for now. Ren seems to be further exploring the castle. Bottom right, completely different round. We have Crazy Four Blades. Fire of Bat found for Ren, basically useless in this preset. Ideally, while you're in the second castle, you want to find at least 1 or 2 things that can be useful for your exploration in the first castle. And a library card found by Ren in the reverse bell tower room. Yeah, this is a very interesting setup here. A lot of different options available to these players. Medusa Shield and Claymore found. Claymore can be useful in this preset, giving you out-of-logic dive kick abilities. And Soul of Wolf was found for Crazy Four Blades. If Crazy finds another Soul of Wolf, that does give him access to all of the overpowered wolf movement that you could find, which is pretty nice. Heaven Sword found as well. This might be the hardest preset to keep track of because you're kind of incentivized to just do whatever. Almost any kind of route can work out for you. Ren does find Leapstone here and opts to use one of the library cards. Oh, because the duplicator, it's essentially infinite library cards, of course. So Leapstone and Thrust Sword is all Ren really has as far as progression goes, but is first to the first castle. Finds the gold ring and... Buffalo Star, maybe? Yeah, buy some Buffalo Stars. Nothing too great in the shop. Durdrak also making it to the Castlevania 3 trio already. Crazy Four Blades opts to backtrack now? Through Allrox's quarters after already getting the teleporter? Is he now... Oh, because he has Soul of Wolf. Now he's going to go fight Akmadon. I see. So he must not be interested in trying to fight Akmadon with the skip. This is sadly not going to work out in his favor, but could be worse. And right now, it looks like Ren's routing is pretty strong, unless there's any reason to stay in the second castle. But as of right now, it doesn't look like the second castle is too loaded. I mean, the Leap Stone is nice to have, don't get me wrong. But you have to go find that. Sestrin also doing some item checks here. Doesn't find anything. I wonder if he found the library card. He might not have. That library card, when you start with a duplicator, is incredibly powerful. Interestingly enough. Yeah, it looks like Cesar is definitely struggling this seed. Second castle start can be tricky. I mean, Durdrak just lost 56 HP from a single attack. Trying to use the wolf movement here to dodge all of these ghost dancers.
I'm coming.
Yo, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Sidon, thank you very much for the 4 months and the Prime sub. Primers rise up, as always. It is a free subscription if you got Amazon Prime. You can subscribe to any Twitch streamer for free once a month. Yeah, my eye is mostly on Ren this time around. I think Ren finding that library card is going to lead to just a massive advantage. Crazy might also find that library card because it looks like he's doing quite a few item checks. He's just done a little bit more progress in the second castle. It's just unfortunate that that progress kind of didn't lead to anything. No Vlad relics found, no progression found yet, so we'll see. Yeah, Cesar is definitely very much struggling with his start. Did he find a save room yet, at least? Yes, it looks like it. Maybe not 100% comfortable figuring out how to exit this area. Did I see Power of Mist and Mist? Oh, yeah. So Ren has Mist. The Ghost card is another copy of Mist, for those that don't know. So Ren found Mist and Power of Mist in the first castle already. So that's pretty powerful. And it looks like Crazy is also about to find that library card. Very, very useful. I don't think there was library cards in the shop, unfortunately. So unless you find one from an enemy drop or just chilling on the map somewhere, library cards are going to be a scarce quantity. It is one of those things where finding a library card in a preset like this, where you, and also a seed like this where you start with a duplicator, is pretty important. Oh, Durdrak's not checking the items, so Durdrak might miss out on that library card as well. Brutal. Oh, wait, no. Scrimps does have the library card, but opted not to use it, perhaps, or found it somewhere else. Very interesting. I think Ren's plan of just library carding immediately was pretty strong, since you have infinite, so. Yes, Ethan, I am commentating the tournament as it is usually considered bad manners to enter your own tournament that you're hosting. Is this the only race tonight? For tonight, yes. This is the only one scheduled tonight. We have a couple of dual races scheduled later in the week. Ren finds Brain of Vlad. That is a new Vlad relic that increases your intelligence. Essentially gives you extra... or is that the one that gives you... No, Ear is the one that gives you luck. Tongue is the one that discounts your spells. And then Brain is the one that gives you intelligence, I'm pretty sure. And Ren is both able to use the gold and silver ring here. This screen in the top right. Able to use gold and silver ring in a second to check the holy glasses location. Finds Power of Wolf, already has Soul of Wolf, so that is going to increase his movement potential. Ren puts on the gold and silver rings, activates the mechanism to open the floor here. I think I did see Durdrak pick up that library card earlier, by the way, so that's pretty important. This is really going to come down to which players find that library card and who takes advantage of it the best. So, but yeah, we see a couple of players already in the first castle. We got Scrimps, we got Crazy Four Blades, and Ren all in the first castle so far here on the right side of the screens. Left side of the screens, we're seeing some second castle gaming. A lot of people still here in the reverse chapel, as well as Durdrak, who seems to be wanting to exit through the normal means and not using that library card. I do think the library card ends up being pretty powerful, but we'll see. Jewel of Open acquired for Ren. Yeah, Ren is just finding like all the progression items much earlier than everybody else. I guess the reason for not using the library card is you get access to the Castle Keep warp because you're already here, but it's like you're going to come back to Castle Keep at some point anyways with flight. So yeah, we'll see. Ren is going to lose time having to go to Castle Keep, but there's ways to get there without it losing you too much time. We'll see how it goes. See you later, Misty. Have a good one. So Ren finds Jewel of Open, and instead of going to Caverns right away, is instead going up to Alrox's quarters. I wonder if Ren plans on getting the warp and going all the way to Silver Ring early. You can do Silver Ring early with Mist and Power of Mist and Jewel of Open. It is possible. Oh, Durdrak, however, gets a full flea ladder in the top left-hand corner and finds Fairy card early. Unfortunate. Very skillful movement there, but doesn't get rewarded for it. If that was like Soul of Bat or any movement option, Gravity Boots, that could have been a huge play for Durdrak. But you know what is a huge play, though, is I'm going to point out Crazy Four Blades here in the top left-hand corner. Found Wolf in the second castle and finds the second copy of Wolf in the first castle. So with this combination, he now has full Wolf movement. This is the upgrade that Recycler gives you, as well as the discounted movement cost that you would get in Lycanthrope. So now he's going to have faster movement than everybody else quite a bit early. So this could end up paying off pretty big for Crazy. So we'll see how that plays out, because I don't think anybody else found... Oh, I think Durdrak found the Wolf relic, actually. So Durdrak, as soon as Durdrak gets to the library, will also have access to the extra Wolf relic. But instead of going to the library right away using that library card, Durdrak opts to go to Alchemy Lab, which is interesting. Oh, because of Mistwolf Rising, I see. So Durdrak is using a interesting tech here. If you transform into Mist and then into Wolf over and over and over again, you get a slight bit of height every single time. So Durdrak is using that tech to be able to full clear the Alchemy Lab early without access to any form of flight yet. Very interesting tech. Meanwhile, Ren is plowing through Alrox's quarters, like I said. I thought he might here in the left middle. Form of Mist found for Crazy Four Blades. And I think Crazy's also going to do something similar, probably. It seems like. I wonder. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, it looks like Crazy is going for some Mistwolf Rising. Durdrak also doing some Mistwolf Rising here. Do they all have the same seed? Yes, they should have all the same seed. I mean, they all started with the same gear, so I would assume it's the same seed. If somehow that isn't the case, that'd be crazy. Durdrak is missing Gold Ring. Where was Gold Ring, actually? Some players have Gold Ring, some don't. Oh, Gold Ring was in the shop. That's what it was. So the people who've used their library card early got access to Gold Ring. This is unfortunate for Durdrak because not having access to that Gold Ring means he's going to have to backtrack now to the center clock room if he wants to progress that way. It's very possible that he'll go to Alchemy Lab and then use his library card. Or not Alchemy Lab, sorry. Might go get the warp in Alrox's quarters. Jesus, my brain. Getting the warp in Alrox's quarters and then library carding at that point. That'd be my guess, but we'll see. Ren, however, finds Holy Glasses here in the top right. This was locked behind Silver Ring. He also found Soul of Bat somewhere. So Soul of Bat is in Alrox's quarters, interestingly enough. The tracker updates automatically. Vorpal Blade found for Durdrak. Decent weapon. And Brain of Vlad acquired as well. How am I doing? I'm doing well, player 2. Thank you, thank you. And Ren gets the classic Maria skip. If you wing smash while collecting the life max up there, you can actually skip that Maria cutscene. That cutscene does show up automatically unless you have killed Minotaur and Werewolf. Then in that case, that cutscene just never shows up. Cesar's tracker isn't working. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. It's also very possible that Cesar just like doesn't have any relics yet. It looks like Cesar is still hanging around the starting area. He might have taken an early death. I wasn't paying attention. So, Durdrak going for the full Mistwolf Rise here to check the Gravity Boots location early. Very interesting to commit to this play. It's pretty slow movement-wise, but if you're already here and you have access to the tech to do it, there is an incentive to try and do it. And does get Power of Wolf. Unfortunately, not super useful, but Durdrak can now use Wolf and Power of Wolf for a little bit of a movement boost. Meanwhile, Ren kind of has everything. His decision to early library card is just paying off incredibly well. Everything is kind of just lined up for him. This is important, too, because the way that the point system works is the points you earn is based off of your best placement in any given race. So I believe Ren won the last race for Recycler. So if Ren wins this one, he's essentially blocking anybody else from getting the full points possible. So everybody else will essentially be fighting for like second place total points. Yeah, this is fully allowed within the rule set of the tournament. The reason that you only take the best placement is to give players a reason to race multiple times. Soul of Wolf found, or sorry, Soul of Bat found the second one for Ren. This gives him access to free wing smashes, which is incredibly powerful. But yeah, essentially Ren is playing for practice as well as for the chance to block other players from getting a first place score, which essentially means that he guarantees his placement will be higher indirectly. So there is a strategic reason to enter both races for every preset, to essentially try and get the best possible score you can and prevent others from getting a good score. Durdrak finally using that library card 18 minutes in. A little bit unfortunate timing-wise. Especially because this doesn't unlock flight for him, I don't think. So he's not going to get that Soul of Bat at the Fire of Bat location. Yeah, everybody's kind of just doing their own route here. And, I mean, I'm mostly paying attention to Ren because I think Ren has just kind of found everything he's needed at the right places at the right time. So... also only has 2 Vlad relics so far, 1 Rib of Vlad, and then 1 Brain of Vlad, which is taking up this Echo, Force of Echo spot on his tracker. This is another preset where you don't need to collect everything in order to win. So some relic locations might be worth skipping, especially if you feel like you're behind and you need to pull out a crazy W. Perhaps. So Durdrak is making it to the Soul of Bat location, which is where Eye of Vlad is. No one has done this yet, interestingly enough. I wonder if players are even going to consider to do it with their extra library cards. Ring of Vlad found for Ren behind Succubus. So a lot of Vlad relics here in the first castle. It looks like 4 have been found so far in the first castle. You have Brain, Rib, Ring, and Eye of Vlad. You only need 6 to beat the game, so... So many windows, which one to watch. If you're looking for whoever's at first place, Ren is definitely in first place right now. His route is just incredibly strong. He has Soul of Bat before everybody else. Scrimps just got Soul of Bat for himself, but is missing all of the Vlad relics and such. So Ren just has a very, very solid lead over everybody else. Finds Echo of Bat, which is essentially a useless relic, but it gives you information. It lets you know that Spike Breaker is a higher complexity step than this location, so... Scrimps using the library card after getting Holy Glasses. Will he do Lesser Demon? The answer is yes. Scrimps is backtracking to do Lesser Demon and check that location. Maybe with a save split, perhaps? Finally saves the game. This is what I'm talking about with potential relic locations to skip. One of them could be this mermaid statue location that Ren is doing, but his movement's so good that it's kind of understandable that he goes out of his way for it, and he is rewarded with the Ear of Vlad. So now he has 4 total Vlad relics. We know there's at least 1 more if he decides to do Lesser Demon and get to the Soul of Bat location. We see Durdrak here in the top left flying up to that Fire of Bat location and should be rewarded with the Soul of Bat. So Durdrak now has access to quite a bit better movement options because Soul of Bat obviously gives you wing smashes. Durdrak also has access to all the wolf movement as well. So a combination of those 2 things are going to help quite a bit. Ren is now entering the mines. Who decided on ear, brain, and tongue? Whoever made the preset. I'm not sure who actually was the person who came up with the preset. Wait, Durdrak, why are you checking this? You've already checked this. Yeah, Durdrak just realized. Wait, I've already checked this before I got the flea ladder. Yeah. Oh my god, that's 6 Vlad relics in the first castle. Oh my god, Ren's gonna get world record again. Wait, he didn't even get the warp. He said, fuck it, I'll just find the last Vlad in the second castle is probably his thought process. What was his time on the last seed that got him world record? Hold on, let me double check. That time was a 27-minute run. Oh, Ren didn't fight Lesser Demon. If Ren decided to do the Soul of Bat location check for whatever reason, he would have 6 Vlad relics and he'd be on his way to the end of the game. And that was looking like a world record run. Straight up. Why is Ren so cracked? It requires a very special type of person to experience the luck that Ren receives. His route is just insane. I don't know how else to say it other than everything worked out in his favor. Finding that library card and deciding to use it early was the correct decision for sure. And he's being rewarded by a lot compared to the players who held on to that library card. That's the main difference between Ren's route and Scrimps's route. Scrimps did something very similar, but unfortunately held on to the library card longer than him. And now is quite a bit behind because Ren got Soul of Bat early. Ren got access to Mist, Power of Mist, Jewel of Open. He was just progressing this whole time, whereas other players were going through locations that didn't lead to anything just because they didn't, library card early. Durdrak is just now finding Jewel of Open 23 minutes in. Meanwhile, Ren is essentially in go mode. Where if Durdrak had library carded earlier to get that gold ring, Durdrak would have also found the silver ring alongside it and then would have checked this probably 10 minutes ago. So it's just one of those things where an early game decision just snowballs into the correct decision, into the next correct decision over and over and over again. Which is, in a way, kind of luck dependent, but this type of preset, on average, There's multiple options for finding progression, so different routes can even out. It just depends on the seed layout. But this has been an incredibly powerful seed for Ren specifically. What's the next preset that's coming up? All the presets are being held close to the chest as a means of keeping players on their toes so they don't have time to like prep too much, as well as dodge certain races. I wanted to give players a reason to show up for every single race. And if I tell them, oh, this next one is going to be this preset that you're like not excited to play as much, then some players would consider dodging, which they're allowed to do, but I wanted to disincentivize that and give a good incentive to play every single race, if possible. Is Recycler another version of Just Guess? Yes and no. You're incentivized to do the highest density of checks while keeping in mind the complexity of the preset. It's a very unique preset in a way. This happened to be a seed where guessing correctly early on with the help of an early library card leads to a huge advantage, but it's not always the case, right? Every randomizer preset is going to have outliers. It's just interesting that we find 2 outliers back to back in our tournament preliminary races. During bracket races, I do not expect to see seeds flying by this fast. And also, Ren did not take advantage of the God route. Ren theoretically could have found that Eye of Vlad early and would be finishing the game right now. But instead is now looking for the final Vlad relic, which, as of right now, we don't even know if there's a Vlad relic in the second castle. Theoretically, there's a high likelihood that there is one, but, I mean, we've seen 6 so far. There's only 8 in the game. And we haven't seen any of the checks in Catacombs. So theoretically, there could be a Vlad relic at Grand Falloon, and there could be a Vlad relic at Echo of Bat. Or sorry, not Echo of Bat, but Spikebreaker. And if that's the case, or Merman Statue. Merman Statue could be another one. So theoretically, Merman Statue can block one that leads to the Holy Glasses location. So those are 3 checks that Ren did not do in the first castle, that theoretically, 2 of those 3 checks being Vlad relics means that Ren actually loses this race. So Ren is playing the statistical game that it's like, what are the odds that I'm missing out on all the Vlad relics? At least one should be somewhere in the second castle, right? But unfortunately, Ren just finds 2 gravity boots so far, and that's it. Eye of Vlad was at the Soul of Bat location. Durdrak with some fancy wolf movement, by the way, to find the Ear of Vlad. So Durdrak currently has 1 Vlad relic, 2 Vlad relics, 3, 4, 5, and is missing Holy Glasses. Scrimps has 4. And it does have Holy Glasses. Crazy Four Blades has 2. And also has Holy Glasses. I imagine top 4 is going to be something like, there's another Vlad relic in the first castle. Tongue of Vlad found by Scrimps at Grand Falloon. This was skipped by Ren. Another Leapstone found for Ren. There's only 1 Vlad relic left in the game unaccounted for. And if it's in the second castle, Ren is going to lose. Probably by a lot. Ooh, 7 in the first castle. Like I said, this is a statistical anomaly, in my opinion. This also means anybody who sticks around in the first castle long enough is going to just get 6 relics. Because, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Scrimps plus Holy Glasses. He might be going second castle now because he didn't get Rib of Vlad, which I don't know where that was. I'm going to be honest. Durdrak, however, gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 Vlad relics for Durdrak. He just needs glasses now, and Durdrak's in go mode. Will Ren only go to Galamoth now? I don't know. We're going to find out. Where was glasses? Durdrak knows exactly where glasses is. Skill of Wolf! Ren is choosing to turn around and not do Galamoth. Oh my god. Are all 8 Vlad relics in the first castle? Is this even possible? This would be I think, first. I don't think I've ever heard of or seen anybody play a recycler seed where all 8 Vlad relics are in the first castle, which is insane considering these players started in the second castle as well. I'm keeping my eyes on Ren, but in the meantime, I also am curious. Wait, no, I just realized. I think Scrimps has 6 Vlad relics. Am I seeing this correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this a Vlad relic? I think it is, right? Yes, it is. That's Ear of Vlad. No, so Scrimps is actually just in go mode. Scrimps is going to win this. Because he's on his way to the second castle right now while in go mode. Durdrak, however, still needs the Holy Glasses, knows where they are, is about to grab them at the Silver Ring location. But it looks like Scrimps is just going to win this, unless the only way I think Ren even has a chance of winning this is if Beelzebub has the last Vlad relic that we haven't seen yet. Which would be ridiculous. I think Scrimps would also have to mess up a decent amount on his movement because he looks like he's going towards the warp, which means he does have the reverse castle, reverse Alrox warp. Just kidding, he doesn't have the warp! Oh shit, Ren could still win this! There's a 1 in like 5 or 6 chance that this is the final Vlad relic. If this is the final Vlad relic, Ren is probably going to win. Holy shit! Bailed out! Completely bailed out! Ren was so out of this! Oh my god. Insane. Insane. This is still an insanely fast seed, by the way. God is yes, God is Brazilian, yes. Meanwhile, Durdrak's not that far behind and is also in go mode, and I'm pretty sure Durdrak has the warp, by the way. Dude, this was looking so over for Ren, and then binks the final check here. This is actually also going to be close between Scrimps and Durdrak. Scrimps is going through Reverse Coliseum right now. Depends on his movement, how quickly he's going to get there. It looks like Scrimps is going to be there before Durdrak, though. Just looking at movement. Wow. Very interesting stuff here. Equally interesting, Crazy Four Blades here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Vlad relics and Holy Glasses. Is Crazy going to do the same thing? Go to the second castle? Yes, Crazy is also opting to go to the second castle. The question is, will he choose to do Beelzebub early or not? Is the question. Or has he not done the castle keep checks? It looks like he hasn't done castle keep checks yet, so he's doing these last. Gotcha. Durdrak making it to the warp right now. Scrimps opening up the clock room right now. Ren is going to get a clean snipe on Scrimps, though, for this finish, with Durdrak not too far behind. Yeah, sub 34 is pretty crazy. This seed had the potential to be a 6-minute seed if Ren happened to completely God route it, but this should be as easy as possible. Duplicator, double Buffalo Stars. Anybody who's played this game before could easily finish this out. And Ren gets it 33-11. First place yet again. GG's. You love to see it. Scrimps also not that far behind here. Here in the top right-hand corner. This Ren guy is pretty good. I mean, his placements so far have been first. Right? First place, fifth place, third place, and now first place. So, consistently in the top 5. We now see Scrimps here in the top right, finishing off the fight with Dracula. Ren still in the cutscene with Dracula, while this is happening. Durdrak only a few moments away, but Scrimps does get the clear here. GG's to both of these players. And now we have Durdrak finishing up here. Very, very close race. Crazy Four Blades also not too terribly far behind. These players all took incredibly different routes, but the decision-making, which checks they decided to do, which checks they decided to skip, all very much mattered. They were all very, very important. So with this in mind, it is pretty wild to see everybody finishing within, like, what, 2 minutes of each other here? $35, and especially in a seed this quickly, like the percentage of error is pretty astonishing. Durdrak finishes up just as Crazy is unlocking the clock statue here. That's a third place finish for Durdrak. GG's. There it is. I need to check something here because we might have an interesting situation going on here in just a second. I have to check the tournament document as Crazy Four Blades finishes up here. So the number of players who have entered a race so far, we've had 10 players enter so far. And the way that brackets work is that you need even numbers, usually, for final brackets. So the closest number that would make sense would be a top 8 for the bracket. So unless a bunch of new people decide to join for this last couple of races, it looks like the bracket is going to be a top 8 bracket, which means Cesar and SotN, if they want to make it to the final bracket, need to outplace Major Seaman, who is currently in the 8th place slot with 3 total points. It's very doable. Very doable. GG's to Crazy Four Blades. The way that the points work is it is based off of your total placements. It starts at 8 points total for first place, and every placement that you go down, you lose 1 point. So, theoretically, right, we have 8 points for Ren, 7 for Scrimps, 6 for Durdrak, 5 for Crazy. So whoever places here gets 4 points. So whoever finishes this seed first is going to get 4 points, which does put them in the running for final bracket, assuming that Major Seaman does not acquire any more points for the rest of these prelim races. So this race right here does actually matter between these two players. I know they've been struggling quite a bit on this seed. Yeah, definitely seen a rough start for both of these players. I think I've seen at least a few deaths for each of them. I know we saw Cesar die quite a few times, but however, he does have access to Soul of Bat, which is going to be a huge advantage over SotN potentially. Points don't adjust depending on total participants. Well, points are awarded based off of the best placements that you have within your 5 total presets. It's explained in the tournament document, but you can think of it this way. We have 10 total races, 2 for each preset. Your best placement in each preset gives you your points towards the final bracket. Everything told me to library card as soon as possible. The early library card was definitely the play in this particular seed. That's what Ren did, and if it wasn't for Ren skipping a couple of things in the first castle, he would have finished this seed with a world record. It would have been another world record. He was missing 1 Vlad relic for quite a while, but he easily could have finished in like 25 minutes if he had done the Soul of Bat location check. He just skipped it for whatever reason. Even with the library cards, he just never checked it. If he had checked it early enough, he would have had 6 Vlads like super early, and he would have had an insane world record time. So it goes to show that decision making does indeed count quite a bit. That makes sense. I'm glad it makes sense. I tried to make the placement matches fair, and I also wanted there to be incentives to join these races, regardless of what your current point standings are, because there's always a chance that you can improve them by joining more races, for one. And for two, it gives players the chance to participate, even if they don't intend to necessarily make it to the final bracket. So, skipping that power of mist hurt a lot too. Yeah. Wait, wasn't Power of Mist, wasn't it just a familiar card? Ren got the relic at Bees, and we knew, the players didn't know, but there was only a singular Vlad relic in the second castle, and Ren found it. If that Vlad relic happened to be at Spikebreaker or at Holy Symbol, which those were the two locations I don't think anybody checked, if the Vlad relic was there instead, Ren was probably losing and getting 4th place minimum. Oh, we need to get Cesar on the fast core if he wants to keep racing in the tournament. Slow core is definitely a bit of a disadvantage, but it's okay. Each player can only join a max of 2 times 10 presets for points. For the prelim matches, yes. So you can join every single prelim match if you wanted to. Only 5 of those 10 races are going to count towards your score and is going to be your best placements amongst those 10 races for each preset. So for example, this works out interestingly enough. Ren, for Recycler, since we've done both Recycler races, Ren got 1st place and 1st place. So his best placement is 1st place. So he's going to get 8 total points for Recycler. But by joining both races, he took the 1st place spot from somebody else who could have taken that 1st place spot. So now, by entering, he has lowered everybody else's potential for earning points if anybody else wanted to better their placements as well. So there is still reason to join. It also is just good practice. And also, at the end of the day, I wanted to throw an event where players had an excuse to show up and play the game. So I wanted to make it so it made sense for players to continue to show up and play the game. That was my intention, at least. Whether it works out perfectly, I don't think it's 100% a perfect system. There's probably ways I could have done it better, but I also wanted to make sure to not prioritize points for players who just are more available than others, right? We're all adults here. We're all people with our own lives. Some of us have kids. Some of us even have jobs. It's crazy. Couldn't be me, though. So I didn't want to de facto just make the unemployed get a super buff for that reason. The unemployed and kidless and jobless amongst us to have that buff, which is why I only wanted the best placements amongst those races to count. So theoretically, if it's like, I can only join a handful of races, I made it so that they were spread out enough that hopefully players who are busy can join at least a couple of each race and then get placed that way. What if a case like this makes sudden death? I mean, these players are going to play it out. Someone's going to finish this, presumably. I got nothing else planned today. I'm down to watch this till the end of time. Because this placement actually fucking matters. This is the difference between entering the final bracket or not, potentially. So yeah, I want to think that I tried my best to make the preliminary participation as easy as possible and as convenient as possible for everybody, but not everybody was interested in joining this tournament for one reason or another, which is understandable. Everybody has their own schedules, their own time, their own busyness going on. Because there's definitely some high-level players that are not in this tournament currently. They still have time to join. And they only need a couple of decent placements, and they could make it to the final bracket as well. But we'll see how that goes. We're probably going to start trying to play in tournament matches as soon as the bracket is finalized, because we do have our front page slot for Twitch a week from now. So 1 week from today is going to be our front page Twitch spot. So preliminaries end this Sunday. This Sunday is going to be our last string of races. So we have 2 races tomorrow, I believe, and then 2 races on Sunday. So looking at the totals for Vlad Relic, Cesar's doing pretty okay. Has Soul of Bat, is progressing towards where he needs to go. Has Soul of Bat, has Form of Mist, has Power of Mist, has 3 Vlad Relics. We already know that quite a few Vlad Relics exist here in the first castle, so. Oh, you know what we didn't find? We never found Spikebreaker. I wonder if Spikebreaker's vanilla. Yeah, if Spikebreaker's vanilla, then I think that actually means that Ren was 100% guaranteed to find a Vlad Relic somewhere in the second castle, funny enough. Huh. Very interesting. I just realized I haven't been drinking water this whole time. Cesar picks up the Force of Echo here, or sorry, the Echo of Bat. Holy Glasses was a jewel, so it kind of has to be. Glasses was it? No, Holy Glasses was a silver ring. You mean, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking just now. Yeah, I forgot about that. Spikebreaker needs to be somewhere in Logic, and we never saw it. I don't think. So the progression chain was Mist, Power of Mist, into both rings, into Jewel of Open, into Echo of Bat, because Bat was available through Flight, into Spikebreaker, into Silver Ring having Holy Glasses? Isn't this complexity 8? So that I think actually Spikebreaker has Merman Statue into Spikebreaker into Holy Glasses? Something like that. I could have finished this scene in 25 minutes. Yeah, I know, Ren. We were talking about it. Yeah, you could have had another world. You could have gotten back-to-back world records in the tournament, Ren. What are you thinking? Think of the content. It would have been hype. Sorry, it's okay. I'll never forgive you, but it's okay. It was a very fun race to watch, considering how different everybody's route was and how they all kind of converged within a couple minutes of each other. And this placement actually does matter quite a bit for those that are unaware, because the cutoff for the final bracket, unless more people join, is likely going to be top 8. So these players are kind of fighting for their chance to make it into bracket here, because both of them have entered races, but yet to have earned any points. So this is pretty big, especially because there's not a whole lot of people in this race. They are going to be rewarded with a decent amount of points here. What preset would you recommend for your first rando? I would probably recommend either OG or Guarded OG. OG refers to the initial version of the randomizer, which is probably the most new player friendly. Will it be double elimination? It will be double elimination bracket, yes. If we only have 8 players, I think we can just do a flat out double elimination bracket and finish before the end of the year pretty easily. If we get to 12 players, we'll have to do a bracket style where some players who are at the bottom, like the bottom 4, will be entered into the bracket, but will start in loser's bracket as a means of speeding up matches. But I'm pretty sure we can get away with a top 8 double elimination. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to do the math on how long it'll take. Yeah, organizing 1v1 races in double elimination just takes a while. I think there's a way to do bracket math, actually. Easily, if I just look it up. How many matches in 8-person double elimination bracket. 14 games with a maximum of 15 games. According to fucking Gemini, which is just pulling from goddamn Wikipedia. That makes sense. Yeah, that would be 16-person bracket, though. Okay, I see. So yeah, 15 matches. Each match probably will be scheduled within a week, most likely. It shouldn't take more than 1 week to schedule a match. So what is that, 15 weeks? So we'd have to schedule matches pretty quickly. We'd have to schedule multiple a week, which should be doable. So if we schedule 2 per week, then that means we would have, instead of 15 weeks, it would be 7 weeks. So assuming we can schedule 2 matches a week, it would only take 1.5 months. We get to see Spikebreaker. Oh yeah, we get the info here. I'm pretty sure this has to be Merman Statue, if my math earlier is correct. So Cesar's going to give us a closure on that. It was Merman Statue, so I was correct. Okay. Makes sense. Because if we start matches in the middle of this month, like the 15th, for example, we'll finish in 1.5 months. So by the end of November, is that correct, right? Because this is half of a month. So the start of December. Yeah. Finish before December sounds nice to me, if we're able to schedule 2 matches per. Otherwise, if I cut out the first 2 matches in a top 8, that would put those 2 players into losers bracket immediately, which means we would have 12 matches, which is 6 weeks. If we schedule 2 per week, both are reasonable. Yeah, Cesar has quite a decent lead here and is about to find another Vlad relic, I believe. So we're looking at currently Force of Echo and Spirit Orb are both Vlad relics in this preset. Plus 1, 2, 3. So that's 5 Vlad relics. This is going to be the 6th Vlad relic. So then Cesar only needs to get Holy Glasses, and then Cesar's in go mode. So Cesar seems to be quite a bit in the lead so far. Just needs to play it relatively safe versus Grand Falloon here. So yeah, theoretically, it seems like we'll have a decent chance of finishing the bracket relatively quickly, which is what I want. But it's just going to come down to scheduling matches quickly. Because if we could schedule 2 matches per week, which seems pretty reasonable. Although it might be harder to schedule 2 matches per week once we get closer to the finals, though. Because then people's schedules will maybe be a little bit harder, but we'll see. It's also possible that we can schedule more than 2 matches per week. That's also theoretically possible. So with that in mind, I'll have to... I think just doing a 8-person double elimination bracket should work. Yeah, this is the only race tonight, so. And we're going to find out who's finishing soon enough. Yo, was that the Heaven Sword? Because Cesar is on his way. to being in go mode. He just has to find the glasses, which should be doable. He's playing it incredibly safe. Did Ren lock in a top spot with that win? Potentially. However, this doesn't change the placements too much, right? Because the way the point system works is Ren didn't actually earn any points for that win, but he did prevent other players from getting better placements. I need to add in the points from yesterday's race and today's race, and then I'll have a better standings for everybody, so we can have a better understanding of what's going on. Opts to put on the elixir for health. I respect it, honestly. Like, your only lose condition now is probably just dying, so. Cesar is also going out of his way to Merman statue, which I think theoretically makes sense from his perspective, because he's thinking, oh, this is progression, which means it could be holy glasses. I'm not sure what other checks he's done, but I imagine at this point he's done quite a bit of the castle, but. Yeah, Cesar, you should be spamming that elixir way more often. Iframes are broken. If you watch this one back, definitely spam elixir is broken. I haven't gotten worse than 4th place, so I should get top 4. Unironically, that mentality also does kind of work in this case, because I think you're... I need to update the points totals, but... I think you're likely either in 2nd or 3rd for points totals, but I'll have to double check. But yeah, I do like this system of having an open qualifier just to begin with, because easily I could have just done bracket matches to begin with and skipped this open qualifier phase. I could have just been like, hey, first 8 people to sign up enters the bracket or something like that. Or I could have been like, okay, 10 people enter, and then we just like, you know, run from there. But I think having the prelim matches warms people up to the idea. Oh, Cesar went here without Merman statue. That's funny. But yeah, it warms people up to the presets. It gives them chances to practice and discuss routing decisions, as well as see what their opponents do. You know, having some information on what your opponents are likely to do is also important. They're fun to watch. I think there's a good reason to have qualifying matches. It also keeps players like warmed up with these presets without necessarily burning them out on doing a bajillion matches of them. Because we used to do like a point system based off of ELO, and you could just join races whenever, and whoever had the best ELO at the end of the like determined amount of time would end up making it to the final bracket. That was fun, but it led to people like running matches over and over and over and over again and getting burnt out like super duper fast. I haven't made any plans yet, Crackdaw. There's some important stuff that I need to be attending to today, so I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to be streaming after this. It also depends on which races you get placed in. So for example, this race you got 4th place, but your previous recycler was 3rd place. So this 4th place actually doesn't count because it's replaced with your 3rd place time. Same goes for the 4th place that you had, was it yesterday? Yeah. So if you play the Nimble Light seed and get a better placement there, that negates the 4th place as well. Yeah. So we'll see how it works out here. Regardless, I do think this is good practice for everybody. Okay, Cesar, you're close. You're very close. You're very warm. I mean, Cesar's able to chain some wing smashes together. That's something, all right. When's the next race? The next race is going to be tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow starting 3 p.m. Pacific. And we have another race after that at 5 p.m. Pacific. So. Plenty more race action to be had. I also appreciate when part of the reason of having these open qualifiers is to give people a chance to put themselves out there and just, you know, participate in racing to begin with. Because to my understanding, I don't know if Cesar has necessarily joined many races before this. Same with SotN. I don't think SotN really joins races generally. But this could be the start for a lot of people to be like, you know what? This looks fun. I want to try it out for myself. And you get a chance to try it out for yourself. At the end of the day, these are community events, and the point is to get the community involved for people who want to participate. My dream was to have as many people as possible participating. It's part of the reason of having the format be the way that it is. Because, like, once the bracket starts, like, those are the serious matches. Those are the matches that very much do matter, for sure. Where these, they do matter because you do want to make it to the final bracket and you do want a good seeding in the final bracket. But it really is the bracket matches that end up being important here. That's when your life is on the line as far as your tournament life. Is SotN secretly a fighting game once you start playing it fast? No. Relating SotN inputs to fighting game inputs actually is a thought process that a lot of people go down because it's like, hey, it's like a quarter circle kind of. Hey, that person's doing a full circle. That I do that with my Zangief spinning pile drivers. Fighting games, especially modern fighting games, have input buffers and they also have like shortcuts in a lot of their inputs, where Symphony of the Night does not really do that. So in a way, fighting game inputs are way more lenient than they are in Symphony of the Night. So if you're like somebody who's done a lot of fighting game stuff, you might also find Symphony of the Night inputs more difficult because they require more precision. JK, I just don't play Geef. Yeah, I've never, especially on leverless, trying to do 360s or 720s even. Yeah. SotN is lenient in the sense that you have a lot of time to perform spells, but it's very precise, as in you can't miss any of the directions or the way that the spell wants you to be performing it. So, Cesar, please! You have infinite potions! I'm trying really hard not to crash out, but you have infinite potions that heal you to full. Use them! You're going to die to Richter because you even have Mist in Power of Mist. How? You are winning. I'm losing my fucking mind. Everything's fine. I really hope you saved before this. Please. Please, Cesar, please. Tell me you saved. Oh, God. Nope. That's a forfeit. Dude, that's brutal. You were so close. You were literally in go mode. Oh. Well, now SotN just has to finish the seed, I guess. Damn. Does SotN have to beat the game? Yes. SotN does need to actually beat the game in order to get placed. Because theoretically, what's stopping SotN from, you know, struggling so much and not actually being able to perform the actual requirements of the seed? It can happen. Well, I don't think we're going to stick around for this, however. because this looks like it's going to take quite a bit of time. Thankfully, we do have replay technology to confirm whether or not you finish a seed. So that's going to do it for this tournament race. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join the live streams, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz, and we'll see you in the next one.